Nobody has joined yet, so we will wait till people join.
Pranam Amit Baba.
Pranam Nishama, so happy to see you or hear you. I can't see you yet.
You can't see? Okay. Very nice to see you, Baba. As always.
Jai Guru Ma, Jai Guru, your love.
Jai Guru.
I still cannot see you, but I'm sure you will give your darshan.
No darshan. No, darshan is yours, Baba. Darshan. How is Guruji?
I wish I could give you any information, man.
Really?
Yes, man. I mean, I'm sure he's good, but I have zero information.
I can't see you. Now I put the camera on, but there is no picture. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
And how is everybody doing at home?
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Your camera says it's off.
No. See here?
Yeah, on the screen, the logo shows.
Oh, okay. I see.
At the bottom left.
Yes,
zoom.
yes. Got it.
It doesn't seem to say his camera is off, but for whatever reason, it is still off. Your camera is on, but I cannot see you. Now it's off. Now it's on. Yeah.
But anyway, I'll just leave it at this point.
Yes, okay. How are you?
I am just pulling along, Baba. Kamal Baba is not too well. So I am more about his. Anyway, something is wrong.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Should I? Okay. I think I will. I'll close it and I will.
Or it's fine, ma. It's okay. Or if you want to.
My screen is blocked, Baba.
Oh, okay. Then maybe you want to join in. Yes.
I will close this.
Yes,
Leave
no
the
problem.
meeting.
Pranam Sudeep Baba. Pranam. Nobody else joined. Who knows? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. All right. I was saying nobody has joined. Hopefully, maybe they will join or it will be a blank.
Somebody was there just now, Nipa.
Nishama. She just left.
That's Nishama.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, wait. Let's see how many. 4, 6 others, 5 others would RSVP. So hoping some will join.
How is Shomaji feeling? Is she okay, or is she still having those symptoms?
Yeah, she's having those symptoms. We'll talk about it some other time. So she is having, but okay. Let's see how many had RSVP'd my phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 others. So let's hope somebody joins. Otherwise, it'll be a blank session.
It says here attendees 9. I don't know what that means.
Attendees are going, yes, on the thing. Not on Zoom though, right?
Zoom, I don't know. On the meetup page, it says 9 people are attending. Ryan S.
Right.
Parasji,
Right. So now nobody has joined yet. Let's see.
Is there a way in Meetup to send a quick note or something?
See, I sent a message about 90 minutes back. Did you get it?
On what? On email?
I just went to the meetup group and in the discussions posted it. So I don't know how this.
No, I didn't get anything, but let me check my junk mail.
Let me then send. Nishama is back. So we're still 3 of us. Kriya once. Let's see if I can send a message. Welcome back, Nishama. Meetup.
No, I don't have anything in my junk either.
I don't know why this. Let me try something. I'm going to Meetup and I will send a message to all. Let's see. Maybe there's a bug or something is not set up. Okay, here, create or manage group. Group.
Oh, Parastas is there.
Okay. Hello, Paras. Contact attendees. All members. I sent a mail, so the Baba, see if it gets you. It gets to you and to the attendees. Paras, can you hear us? You're mute.
I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Welcome back. You were there in the last meetup. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you back in Canada or are you still in Qatar?
No, I'm back in Canada. Canada.
Okay, very good. And I understand you're registered for initiation at Vancouver in the coming months?
Oh, actually, it has. I was told by Panna that there will be an initiation session on September 16, 17 in Calgary, which I was not expecting.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so I registered for that one.
Awesome. And Calgary is where you live?
Yes, Calgary is where I live. Yeah, I work for ExxonMobil here in Calgary.
Right. Got it. We'll just wait a few more minutes to see if anybody else joins. You are the only non-Kriya one in the call right now.
Okay.
So, Baba, did the mail get to you?
No, not yet. No.
Maybe there's some challenge here with email notification. Parash, I sent a notification about this about 90 minutes back. Did that get to you in Meetup?
Oh, no, I didn't get it. I was searching for it, and that's why I got a little bit delayed. So I went through Meetup, and then in Meetup, I found the link.
Okay, so this is something to be debugged then. Because I've been sending some information, but somehow not getting. We'll wait till 7:10. What time zone are you in for us?
I'm in Mountain Time Zone, just
You're in
1 hour ahead.
You're 8 p.m., right? 8.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Yes, sir. Yes. I'm sorry, 1 hour behind.
Yeah, all my Meetup emails are enabled, so they can send me for everything.
So you have not gotten any mail, right?
No.
It's interesting. So maybe that's how we are losing people who have signed up, but they are.
If they log into Meetup, they can get the link the way I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I also did.
Pranam Sudhi Baba.
Nishama Pranam, how are you?
I'm fine. How about you, Baba?
I'm doing okay, ma.
How's see Mama and Mom?
Everybody is doing good. Everybody's in their places.
Very nice.
How is everything on your side?
Okay. Kamal Baba is not too well, but that's fine.
Yeah. Is Guruji coming to the September event in the Miami? Amit Baba, Nishama, do you guys know?
No information
No
yet.
idea.
Nishama Paras Das is on the call. He will be getting initiated in Calgary.
Wonderful. Pranam Paras Baba.
Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Nishama, you are heading to Calgary?
Yes, Baba. I'll be going to Calgary. Hopefully that everything is okay in the house. So till now, of course, I'm scheduled to be there.
With Purnatmananda ji.
Yes.
Nice. So we'll get started in respecting Paras this time, respecting all of your time. We have only Paras on the call, who's not a Kriya one. I hope it's okay with all of you to continue.
Sure, Baba.
Maybe somebody will join, as is God and Guru's plan. So we will start. I think we all know each other. Paras had joined in the last meetup. Sudhi Baba, Nishama are our teachers of Temple of Meditation. And Paras, you'll be meeting Nishama during your initiation, and she'll be doing the initiation. So we'll start with a short prayer, closing our eyes. Thinking deeply of God, divinity around us, divinity within us, and praying to that supreme intelligence to guide us on this satsang this evening. Thinking deeply of my Gurudev, Param Gurudev, and the lineage of masters. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Nabadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He allow us to enjoy together. May our discussions be sincere and faithful. May we exert together. Let there not be any discord or misunderstanding amongst us. May there be peace. Om. Amen. Good evening. So Paras, it's just you. So I hope you have a set of questions that you can ask. We are 3 teachers on this call, so we'll hopefully make sure that this is a good experience for you.
Sure. I'm lucky. God's grace. Yeah.
God's grace indeed. I'll share my screen, our presentation, which I will pull together. So, you know, this is a recurring session of meetup discussions on Kriya. We have it every month, or at least before the initiation events. And rather than repeating the same information, I'm trying to orient the perspective a little differently for each. So today we will talk a little bit about karma, Kriya Yoga, and liberation. And yeah, we will keep the theory short, and hopefully through questions or through our meditation, we get some clarity on the topic today. So the agenda is introductions we have already done, so we'll probably skip over that. I'll talk a little bit of karma and liberation. All of you are familiar, but just a few points to reorient ourselves. And then I'll talk about Kriya Yoga in the context of karma and liberation. Once again, talk about the lineage of masters, our ashram. And today I'll share a short story which I like a lot, about Lord Krishna's flute, which ties in, I think, with this topic that I've chosen today. We'll do a guided meditation, and in Monroe, in the Temple of Meditation, we will have initiation this weekend. But we can talk in general about initiation and the experiences there. So that's the plan. And if you have any questions, please chime in along the way. About me, you all know about me, so I'm going to skip that part and just go straight into an introduction of karma and liberation. So it is interesting that we all live in this world. Many of us take to spirituality. We try to look for some practice like Kriya Yoga. Others are happy with enjoyment, their experience in the world. So briefly, what is this world about? There was a discussion, we were doing this on Sunday. And in one of the hymns from our scriptures, there's a beautiful line which describes the world as an endless ocean. It says, Ananta Samsara Samudra. It says the world is just an endless ocean. And it uses the Sanskrit word for samsara for world. Now, we all take to this world, we live in this world, we look forward to the experiences, the beautiful experiences one can have in this world with family, with friends, with the natural beauty. But many, especially on the path of spirituality, also find that the world is also a place of misery. And we try to enjoy, we try to hold on to those enjoyments, but it is an experience as we look back that, enjoyment is not everlasting. Pretty soon misery and challenges show up in life. And in Sanskrit, this is captured beautifully by this word that is used to describe the world, which is samsara. And samsara means, it comes from the phrase samsarate iti, or one that is changing constantly. And, if you think of our life itself, just as an example, so much is changing every moment. If you look back on the years of our life, so many phases, and every phase also, no doubt we had good times and we enjoyed times, but nonetheless, it was quite painful as well. Just to give you a sense of that, when we were born, taking birth in this world is painful. We wailed when we were born. We came into this world crying because it was painful. We don't quite realize it, but taking birth was painful. Then childhood was painful. We were totally dependent. There's nothing much we could do ourselves. We were dependent on everybody, and that was painful at times. And then we were young and youthful, and that promised a lot. But if you look back, you will see that as the ego flourished, the youth stage was also quite painful when because of the ego, we ran into many struggles with our own selves or with family members or friends. And in many ways, that was miserable at times. And then, of course, as we grow up, taking care of family, taking care of job, life, relatives, that is difficult as well at times and fraught with its own challenge. And then, of course, old age hits, and then the body itself starts deteriorating. There is actually physical pain added to all of this. So throughout our life, there is change happening. And, we try to look for stability. We try to have a good life. We try to look for stability, and, we are happy to enjoy moments of happiness. But, those moments, as we look back, they are fleeting. Maybe they last for just a few days, maybe a few months or a few years. And then the next change happens. And every time change happens, we have to adjust to it. There is the frustration of the change. There's letting go of what we were used to, trying to adjust to what the change was. So, this, in that sense, the world is a constant change. And with that change comes frustration, which comes challenge, which often comes with confusion. And so that is how the poets describe the world as samsara samudra. It's a ocean, this world is. And just as in an ocean, there are waves and waves of change which are hitting us. And some of these changes try, almost knock us off from our perch. And we have to recover, gather ourselves, and settle down till the next wave hits us. And this is just this life. If you believe in reincarnation, then this has been going on for lifetime after lifetime. We are born in this world. We live this world. We pass away only to be born again, and then on and on and on. This continuous sequence of life and death and coming back, and this leads to that qualification, Ananta Samsara Samudra. It's an endless ocean. And so that is why spiritual seekers who analyze the situation, at some point they are no longer attracted by the allurements of the world. They see more of the misery. In fact, in Gita, Lord Krishna describes the world as dukkhalayam, a house of misery, ashashvatam, impermanent. So that is this world, what the world is. And if you think of the change that happens in the world, why are changes happening? And it's a very simple spiritual rule which governs our existence in the world. That is the law of karma. All of us have background in Eastern philosophy, so we all know about karma, which is life is essentially a system of cause and effects. Anything that we do now is going to accrue an effect, and that will come to us at some point. We have our individual karma, we have our collective karma, and that is what life is. There's some noise on the call. If perhaps if you're with family or friends, you can mute, and then when you're asking questions, you can unmute as well. So every deed that we do in this world has a corresponding effect. So that is essentially the law of karma. For us, maybe that's on your side. There's some noise.
Yes, it's on my side. Yes, sorry.
No problem. Just if possible, you can mute, but you're our only audience as well. So please do unmute whenever you have a question. Yeah. So so our deeds have have corresponding effects in the future. So that essentially is an introduction to this law of karma. And the karma very simply can be thought about that there are these seeds or impression. Whenever we act in this world, it generates an impression of that action, and that's going to give some fruits at some point in the future. And these seeds of karma are within us as impressions or samskaras. And now this is an interesting, this law of karma is also very interesting, that not only is it that every effect has a cause and it's the cyclical flow, unlike like Newton's laws, where it says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In the case of karma, the reaction, so to say, can be manifold. Just to give you an example, imagine that you have a little apple seed with you, just one seed. And at some point, let's say you plant that seed, you water it, you give it sunshine, And in due course, it's going to sprout into a little plant. And of course, since it was an apple seed, it's going to be an apple plant. And then the plant grows up into a full-fledged tree, and it starts giving fruits. And this is where you will notice the interesting thing about karma, that in that lifetime, that plant will now give many, many fruits. It's not just that tiny seed led to one apple fruit. It's going to yield hundreds of apple fruits in course of time. So that is the power, the potency of these impressions that we have within ourselves, the impressions of karma. So then what is, if you think of this life, as we talked about, we keep coming back to this world. We are constantly faced with different situations, which are nothing but the fructification of these karmas. And then, a lifetime goes by and we still have not exhausted all the karma. So we need to come back to this world again for the next phase of karma. So that is how the simple law of karma leads us to going through this Ananta Samsara Sagara, or ocean. And then what is liberation? So if we define liberation as that we got to get a place where this drama, this show, which is so miserable at times, ends, it can only end when there is no more karma to fulfill. And the challenge with that, of course, is every moment we are accruing new karma. And karma is not just things that we do as explicit actions. A thought in our mind is a karma. So if we think a good thought or a bad thought, we are accruing karma. So that is the cause for this endless world. On one hand, new karma is continuing to add up. And on the other hand, we have this huge backpack or reservoir of karma to exhaust. So simply said, in this simple, if we take this simple model of how the world has been designed, it is the karma, it is what we do, keeps us going. We come together because we have some karma together. We are constantly doing more karma, and we have to go through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And this is endless till somehow new karma is stopped. Past karma is exhausted, either because of grace of God or some practices which factor into this. So that in essence is karma and liberation. For us, did that make sense? Just asking you so that I don't have to keep talking all the time.
No, it does. It does. Okay. I mean, this is the reason we are searching. That's why I'm searching to myself.
Yes, indeed. Very good. So that's what and you can keep yourself unmuted. The noise, background noise has dissipated, so we can going. So this is karma and liberation. So now, what does Kriya Yoga do? And Kriya Yoga, of course, you will understand in the context of the discussion, is it is somehow going to help us with breaking this chain of endless karma. It is somehow going to help us not accrue new karma, and it is somehow going to help us to exhaust our past karma. So we'll talk about that. We had discussed this in the past meetup as well. So just to recap a little bit about that. The word Kriya Yoga itself, in a nutshell, in a summary view, means a couple of things. First of all, yoga means union. And in this context, the premise is that we are just not, any individual. There is divinity within each one of us, but we forget that divinity. We think we are the body and mind. We forget that there is a divinity within us which is powering us. And when we finally turn ourselves to that fact that we are really, divine beings having a human experience, and there is divinity within us, then we can think of the union of the body and soul. When the body is just there is no soul. We are just a dead body. And when the soul is there without the body, we are a spirit or a ghost. It is only really when body and soul are together that we can function as human beings, God's greatest creation on earth. So fundamentally, yoga is to remember that union, so that we can fulfill our fullest potential on this world, in this world. So that's yoga. And Kriya comes from 2 syllables, Kri and Ya. And it just reminds us that any action that we do is because of the power of the soul. Nothing would have happened if our prana or the life force was not within us, if the breath was not within us, then we would not function. So our mind, our intelligence, our education, our stature, our culture, nothing would be of any use if the life force was not within us. So it is a reminder to be grateful to that which is a gift of God, because of which we have our unique talents, and because of which we can utilize those talents and make an impact on this world. So Kriya is just that. So the in word then, in together then, all Kriya Yoga means is that to perceive that all action is done by the power of the soul within us. It is not this ego, it is not this mind and the body which is acting. It is being powered by this divinity, and that is what is acting within us. Ego, as you know, ego is a function of the mind. It's one of the faculties of the mind. And ego, the way it works is it appropriates every action back to itself. So whatever we do, we say, I am doing, and I is normally felt as this body and this mind. Or if I eat, I say, I am eating, and so on. It appropriates everything back to this body-mind complex. So now, if going back to the principle of karma, if we think that I am doing something, then by definition of the law of karma, the results will come to us. So if I feel I have done a great deed, okay, then this body and mind has now lined up to get the benefits of that action. Or if I have hurt somebody inadvertently or intentionally, then in some course of time, whether it be this lifetime or in the future, I'm going to get that action. So whoever is doing the action is going to get the karma. And you can sense, so the power of Kriya Yoga is if we can somehow reorient our thinking to what Kriya Yoga is asking us to do, if we can think at every moment that it is not I, this body and mind, which is doing the action, it is really the divinity within me, which is making me do this action, which is giving me the context and doing the action through my body and mind, then we can actually stop accruing new karma, because really I am not doing it. So we stop taking credit for anything which is good, anything that is good, and somebody praises us for that, we at least inwardly say, oh God, this was all yours. You functioned through me, and this thing happened. And so you don't accrue the result of this good deed. Likewise, if we end up doing something bad, if we are prayerful in that moment to say, oh God, this thing happened, it is you who functioned through me. Please forgive my mistakes, and please make sure that you lead me to where you need to. You are functioning through me. It is all yours. I give up all my actions to you. So if we have that orientation, then you can get a sense that we can stop accruing new karma. So that in essence is what Kriya Yoga is. It's a non-sectarian practice. It is not related to any religion. It applies to humanity and the divinity within us. There is no restriction on diet or lifestyle, and nothing really in our life needs to change except just a change in the outlook. All that we have to do is to remember at every moment that it is not this body and mind which is which is doing the work. It is an agent of the work. It is an instrument, but the actor who is doing all of this action is that one divinity which pervades everything. Then then we can do anything in this world and not accrue the karma of that. Our Gurudev Paramahamsa Hariharanandaji, he says that think of God and earn money. and you will never misuse money. We know that in this world, one act which ends up with a lot of abuse is when we misuse money. And here Gurudev is saying that if God has given you some talent, if God has given you the talent to earn money, please do. But think that it is God acting through you. Then you can be certain, and it will so play out, that you will never misuse money. You will use money that is necessary for you and your family and your community to live a comfortable life, and maybe you will help others who can be benefited from money. So that's an example. So in essence, Kriya Yoga is a technique which helps us stop the accruing of new karma if we can live to this principle. Of course, it takes practice, and that is the sadhana, but that is how it stops the creation of new karma. Paras, did this make sense? You're on mute, so in case you're trying to speak, yes.
It does make sense. I'm really enjoying the way you are describing it. I got the email today during my lunch hour when I opened the lunch box, and I just saw the message that when you eat from Paramahansa Hariharananda, think that you are not eating. It is the Supreme who is inside you is eating. Yes. I'm just enjoying all your words. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So that is how you get a sense of how new karma can be stopped. And then Kriya Yoga, or really the goal of any spiritual practice, is twofold. On one hand, it is attainment of supreme bliss, because we are all actually trying to look for that bliss. We are trying to look for it in the wrong place, in worldly enjoyment, but nonetheless, we are looking for happiness. And Kriya Yoga says that that is inherent within us. Our spirituality says that's inherent within us, and you can get that. And the second, of course, is cessation of misery. Cessation of misery, or should be better qualified as transcending misery, because when the body is there, the body will go through its own change, and it'll deteriorate. It's not that a Kriya Yogi is able to avoid what will happen to the body, but if you can really understand the power of the principle of Kriya Yoga, then you will see that you are the changeless divine within this body, and the body is changing. That's fine. It's the play of the world, but you are not that. So Kriya Yoga essentially tries to get us to do both of these. And today in our meditation, try to see if you get a sense of these two aspects. Of course, you will not get supreme bliss in a ordinary meditation just out of the bat. Neither will all the miseries end. But nonetheless, as you get to this evening, there are thoughts about your life situation which might be bothering you. But as you do the meditation, try to see if you get a sense of taking your attention away from your life situations and challenges for a moment, and perhaps a fleeting glimpse of calmness, of silence, and a sense of happiness or bliss within. That is the essence of meditation. We will do a meditation today, and we will look for just a glimpse of each. And with Kriya practice, of course, you're continuously refining both those aspects. And those are masters who have become realized they have fully attained both. They're always situated in that supreme bliss, and none of the play of the world impacts them. They see it as a witness. They transcend that. So as we discussed in Kriya Yoga, the one key theme then is when the action is not done by the individual. If we think that it is the divinity which within us is working, then karma does not accrue to that individual. That's a very simple principle. But then what happens to the pending karma? We have lived in this world for lifetimes. And this outlook that we are now trying to cultivate is till now, for everything that I have done, which I felt good, I've taken credit for it. For everything that I have hurt others, I didn't realize, but that it's going to come to me as well because I did it. what's going to happen to that? What about pending karma? And this is where the science of Kriya Yoga comes in a couple of ways. You're familiar with the chakra, or how life works in Kriya, in spirituality, in this path of spirituality. It's a very simple model of daily living. It says that anything that we do in the world, any work that we do, it is in one of 5 categories. And any category of work is propelled, is fueled by an energy center, which is in the spine. A very simple model. And these 5 categories of work are financial work, which is powered by the bottom center, family and relationship oriented engagements, which is powered by the second chakra in the spine. Food, health, digestion. There is a chakra or an energy center for doing that, which is the third of the chakras. Heart, of course, that's where all our emotional, our friendship, our relations through emotions work, and any higher pursuits, religion or spirituality that we have, that is in the top, from the bottom, the 5th center. So very simple model for spiritual living, and it says that there are only 5 categories of work, and each category is powered by an energy in the chakras, and that's how we function in the world. And then they say that for spiritual pursuit, there are 2 other chakras in the brain, the soul center and at the top, the fontanelle. And to understand these 2, it is interesting. So when we say in spirituality, we use these terms. We use jiva means an individual. And what is a jiva? Jiva is nothing, or an individual is nothing but this body and mind, which through the 5 bottom chakras are engaged in the world. So that is the body-mind complex, engaging in financial matters, relationships, food, emotions, any higher pursuit, and that's the individual. That's how we are living out the life. Then we also hear of 2 terms in spirituality: Ishvara. Ishvara is God, or Ishvara is known as God with form. So that's Ishvara. And then Advaita Vedanta says that really everything is an appearance in that one reality, which is Brahman, which is Satchidananda, which is formless. And in this model of spirituality, the soul center is for God with form. That's where through practice you can communion with God with form. And then if you then go further, you can merge yourself in formless. That is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi that gurus talk about, where there is no more body consciousness. There is no more duality of me and God and Brahman. Everything has merged into one, and that's Satchidananda. So that's the formless God. So beautiful, very simple model. 5 chakras for worldly engagement, 2 chakras for divinity. So that's the word. And this is where, if we relate back to what we were saying, what Hariharananda Baba was saying, that these chakras, these instruments have actually been given to us to live out this life. There's nothing wrong in earning money, having relationship and children, eating food, having emotions, pursuing some higher pursuits, but only do it with the attitude that it is the divinity within me which is powering this. Then you don't accrue any karma. Otherwise, you get the results, and the cycle of karma and its results keep perpetuating. So that is really the simple model of spirituality and Kriya Yoga. Now, we were talking about so we understand that with Kriya initiation, with this outlook of remembering our breath, remembering that everything is happening because of divinity, we can potentially stop gaining new karma. What's going to happen with the past karma? There are 2 answers to that. One is, and this is really a beautiful aspect of the Kriya Yoga initiation. So for us, this is something you can contemplate more as you get, go to this initiation on September 16th, that you sort of think about this and go with that open mind. Our gurus actually say, and during the Kriya Yoga initiation, there is a beautiful part where the gurus say that now we will chant a mantra, and it is your opportunity to give up all the karma that you have to the guru, and the guru is willing to take all your past karma. Now, this sounds magical. It is a question of faith. It is a question of having that devotion in mind. Our gurus say that many people are actually able to do that, that during Kriya Yoga initiation, with their full devotion, they are able to say, oh God, till now, I have been doing all of this work, thinking it is me, this individual, this jiva, but you are giving me this opportunity. All to you, please accept them. And those, to the extent are able to do that, they are able to really get rid of karma during the initiation process itself. But for most of us, giving that up is also difficult. We are in this world, we are so oriented to always wanting to receive and not to share what we have, that even at such a beautiful moment, when there is an opportunity for us to give up all our karma, we hold back inadvertently to our anger, our passion, our fear, our negativity, and we are unable to give that up. So that opportunity is not fully utilized. So that's why, Kriya Yoga initiation is a great opportunity to be present, to have that devoted feeling, to not have those doubts in mind about what is this path. Those doubts, if you have, it's great to, it's not that you shouldn't have doubt. It's not that you shouldn't have questions, but these are opportunities to ask them, to reach out to people, to clarify those doubts. Be sure that you're taking this path, and for what reason you're taking this path, and then come with full devotion, with an open mind, follow what the instructors are saying as they're being directed by the guru, and you will have an opportunity of giving up a lot of your karma at that moment. And then, but if that's also not worked out, what else can we do for the karma that is still within us? So that is where this model of spirituality or Kriya says, a very simple model, that all our impressions, this backpack of karma, this karma of millions of lifetimes that we are carrying with us, are in these chakras. The good and bad are all in these chakras as seeds or impressions. Okay. Now we'll take that example of the apple seed again. If you have an apple seed and you plant that apple seed, and if there is sunshine and there is water, you will get an apple tree, and that apple tree in time will give you fruits. So this is how impressions work. We carry these impressions. They are staying dormant within us, just as we might keep a set of apple seeds in a bottle in the pantry. They're just dormant. Nothing seems to happen unless that act of planting, that sunshine, that water comes. And in our life, that manifests as situations. So often it is our experience that all of a sudden we might get extremely angry at something. And we might even surprise us. We might feel that, my goodness, I never knew I had such anger within me. What happened? It is that planting of the apple seed. Something was exactly right for that seed to germinate. That impression which was dormant within me suddenly got that sunlight, got that water, and sprouted. That's what happens. So so that is the experience in life that we have, since we have lived so many lifetimes. In some lifetime we were a snake, and that impression, that cunningness of a snake is still within us. In some lifetime we were a tiger, so a ferocity of a tiger is still within us in these chakras as impressions. And it is just a question of time before the situation becomes such that that impression sprouts and we break out in anger or cunningness. So then what is the solution? So the solution again is scientific and simple. Going back to the example of the apple seed. Apple seed, when planted, given water and sunshine, will sprout. What can we do to prevent that sprouting? Roast the apple seed in fire and then try to plant and give it water and sunshine. It will still not sprout. That impression can be destroyed by roasting. And in Kriya Yoga, the practice of Kriya Yoga is that process of destroying these impressions which are in the chakra. So this is the Kriya technique, which we learn during our Kriya initiation. And then when we practice Kriya, these techniques, that is what is happening through our consciousness, through the great grace of God and gurus, through the technique of breath regulation that we will learn. We are getting rid of the impressions which are stored in the chakras, in the spine. So I will stop here with just summarizing that how do we get to liberation? For us to get to liberation, two things have to happen. We have to stop accruing new karma. And that simply is done by changing our outlook to always remember in every breath that it is the divinity within us which is acting out. It is not I, this body, this mind, this individual. Let not merits of any good action come to me. Let not the merits of any bad action come to me. Nothing is mine. Everything goes to the feet of the Guru. So to the extent that we are able to inculcate this behavior, we stop new karma. What do we do with old karma? Two mechanisms. During the Kriya Yoga initiation itself, we can offload a bunch of our past up karma. And that is the essence. I will come to the offerings during initiation in a moment. That is the symbol of the initiation. That is the process of initiation. And whatever we are not able to give up, we have to work on getting rid of that karma. And that is the Kriya Yoga process. And when we are able to complete these two, maybe in some lifetime, our gurus say that with Kriya Yoga, you can get liberation in this lifetime itself. So with their grace, with their blessings, with our own focus on meditation and Kriya practice, we can get rid of our past karma. And that's where we get liberation. For us, any questions? Or did that make sense? Let's hear from you.
It's beautiful. I mean, the way we explained it, for those uninitiated, they always think I am actually soul searching myself. That's why I came here. And your explanations are really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. I mean, yes, can we do in our lifetime? All those impressions, all those bad karmas? Oh, it's beautiful the way you went. I hope I will be able to give up that with full devotion during the initiation. I will concentrate on that.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Keep
Thank
asking
you.
your questions, keep getting the doubts cleared. You can reach out to me, to Nishama, to Sudeep Baba, whoever, and come with as much as you can, and then practice Kriya faithfully, and that will take care. So, of course, we know the lineage of masters. We have talked about this, and the interesting thing about our lineage of masters is our gurus will say that it is, each one of them, they are God realized. And they say without any hesitation that it was only through the practice of the same technique that they are going to teach us, and the same process of initiation that we will go through, that they have reached their realization. To reiterate that Kriya, you need nothing more than Kriya, just a sincere practice and their blessings of God and gurus, and they take care of that. So, and as you know, this is an unbroken lineage of masters since 1861. We have many ashrams in the USA, more than 100 centers. In ashrams, we do these weekly meditations, and there is really a large community of Kriyavans the world over. And the advantage of Kriya Yoga, of this lineage, is once you're initiated, you're welcome to attend any ashram, any center, anywhere in the world, and you will be treated as family, and you can attend our programs and engage with our community. So that's what it is. And we have seen a view of Temple of Meditation. We have covered this in the last meetup talk. So that's this temple. So now I will finish up this talk with the story of Lord Krishna and his flute. And why am I talking about this here? I want to give you a sense, give you a view of what life can be when we can embrace this outlook that everything that I am doing is really God acting out through me, that I am just an instrument in his hand. I put up these pictures because I was anticipating that there will be many in the call who may not be familiar with Lord Krishna at all. Not so with you, Paras, right? You are on.
No, not at all. I was not initiated to anything, but right from very early age, I pray to Lord Krishna all the time, even while I'm driving or walking or doing other things. So not at all. I'm very, very familiar.
Yeah, very good. And the reason I put up these two pictures is, of course, Lord Krishna, we all know, plays the flute, and that's a beautiful identity of the Lord. But at many times we forget that really Lord Krishna would play the flute only when he was in Vrindavan. And he was in Vrindavan for the first 10 years, 8 months of his life. That's it. So only for the first 10 months or 10 years of his life, he was in Vrindavan. He never came back to Vrindavan after that. And that was the time when he would play the flute. All the animals, everybody in the town would sort of flow to him. They would stop what he was doing. And then, of course, he left Vrindavan, and we all know the story, the big Kurukshetra war, and how he was Krishna's charioteer playing the Panchajanya, or the famous conch. And so that's the history of this story. And I'll stop sharing. We can just talk about the story. So the story goes that the story is actually from after the end of the Kurukshetra war. So the war has been fought. The Kauravas were defeated. The Pandavas are now the king. And Yudhishthira is ruling the kingdom. And Lord Krishna, as you know, Lord Krishna is their cousin. He comes to the palace at one time. So Lord Yudhishthira is sitting on the throne. Lord Krishna is walking into that, in that palace. And Krishna has a flute in his hand. And Yudhishthira sort of looks at him with a little, dissonance in his heart. The battle of Kurukshetra was a hard one. He looks at Lord Krishna and says, "Dear brother, we have all grown up now. We are all elders. I know you played the flute when you were in Vrindavan. I have heard that when you would play the flute, all the birds would fly to you, or all the cattle would stop grazing and look at you. I've even heard that the water of Yamuna would stop flowing as you played the flute. And it was so beautiful. But that was childhood, when we were so innocent. And the flute suited you well. But now we have grown up. So much has happened in this life. We fought this battle of Kurukshetra. And I've heard in that battle, when Arjuna was despondent, didn't want to fight, you said something to him to inspire him. You played your conch, the Panchajanya. That created inspiration in the heart of Arjuna and terror in the heart of the Kauravas. That conch was, more of your, incarnation in adulthood. I don't think this flute suits you anymore at this old age." So Lord Yudhishthira was musing about this with a little bit of sadness in his voice. And Lord Krishna smiled at him and said, okay, brother, what you say is good. So today in the evening, maybe you and I will take a walk along the banks of Yamuna, and I will throw the flute into the water. So the evening turns around, Yudhishthira and Lord Krishna, they start walking towards the bank of Yamuna. It's a beautiful evening. The sun is setting on the horizon. The warm glow of the sun on the waters of Yamuna is creating a beautiful image. There are birds, there are animals in the orchards around the banks of the Yamuna, and Yudhishthira and Lord Krishna are walking. It's a beautiful setting. All of a sudden, Lord Krishna stops Yudhishthira and says, brother, look over there. What an interesting sight. And Yudhishthira looks at where Lord Krishna is pointing, and they see that in that orchard, there is a mango tree with a huge honeycomb beehive hanging from the branch of the tree, a really huge one. And it is so full of honey that honey is dripping from that hive and falling down. And underneath that hive, there is a man with a gaping mouth standing there and drinking the honey which is falling from the hive. Just a beautiful scene, you know, nectar in the hive, God's creation, falling down, a human being enjoying that, the nectar of the honey. Yudhishthira is amazed at this sight, and he's just looking at it, marveling. And then suddenly Lord Krishna draws his attention and says, Yudhishthira, look at the foot of the man. Yudhishthira looks down and he is stunned, he's horrified. At the foot of the man, there is a big python swallowing up the man from the bottom. And the man is so oblivious, he's just not even noticing that. Looking at the scene, Yudhishthira gets terror in his heart. He rushes to the man. He is the king of the kingdom. It's his responsibility to save his citizens from danger. So he rushes up to this man and taps him on the shoulder and says, oh, look at what's happening to you. There is a python swallowing you up. Get away from here. This man hears Yudhishthira, doesn't even bat an eyelid, doesn't even look at him, continues to drink honey and tells him, I know what's in your mind. You want me to get away from this spot so that you can stand here and drink the honey. There's no chance of that. I will continue to drink this honey. Yudhishthira comes back to Lord Krishna, exasperated, and saying, Lord Krishna, help me. This man is so foolish. I tried to alert him. He doesn't even want to listen to me. Please do something to save this man. Now Lord Krishna smiles again, and he looks at Yudhishthira. He picks up the flute, puts it to his lips, and starts playing. And beautiful melody of Lord Krishna playing the flute. And as Lord Krishna is playing the flute, the waters of the Yamuna stop flowing. All the birds stand still and look at Krishna. The man stops drinking the honey, looks at Lord Krishna, and the python stops swallowing the man and just waits or starts going away. Krishna looks at Yudhishthira and says, Yudhishthira, do you still want me to throw away this flute? Now Yudhishthira, with folded hands, looks at Krishna and says, please forgive me, my brother. I had misunderstood what this flute was. Please keep the flute. It is so useful. So that's the story. And if you think of this story, then you wonder that, okay, this is a mythological story. How is it that a man can be drinking honey and not notice a python, a serpent swallowing him up? It was a nice story, but okay, it's just a story. But if you think of our own existence in this world, is this exactly not what is happening to us? The serpent is nothing but time. Time is swallowing us up. Just a little while back, we were kids, young adults, middle-aged people. Now we are becoming old. Time is swallowing us up. But how are we spending our time? We are still drinking the honey of the world, running after pleasure, running after fleeting pleasure, not noticing that time is swallowing us up. Our gurus remind us that time is passing by. This lifetime is going to be over someday. What are we doing? What are you doing on this path? So that is the story of the snake and the honey. And the flute is also so important here. I'll share back my screen. You know the Indian flute, it's a hollow tube, and there are 7 holes. There are 1 hole near the lip of the flute where Lord Krishna plays. And then with his fingers, he controls the opening and closing of the 6 other holes. So he's blowing air, he's breathing in through the top hole, he's controlling these other 6 holes with his fingers, and the outcome of that is beautiful melody. That is exactly what this model of our chakras is. The spine with the 7 chakras is that flute which is in Krishna's hand. Krishna is breathing in us through the top of the head. And if we can, these other holes, if we can moderate them, we are to use them, but we are careful in how we open and close them, how we expend that energy. And if we always keep in mind that it is the breath of Krishna which is leading us to function, then life becomes a music of the flute, life becomes a Gita, life becomes a melody. On the other hand, when we forget the divinity within, when we forget the energy which is propelling us from the top, when we are indiscriminate in expending the energy of the chakras, then the music that comes out is more of a cacophony, is more of a noise. And that is what most of the time our life is. So when we say, in Kriya Yoga teaches us to remember that it is the divine which is powering us. It reminds us that we are to work in this world, but we are to be moderate in how we use the energy of the chakras. We have to constantly remember that it is God which is playing out through us. Then life becomes a beautiful spiritual journey. Life becomes a music of Lord Krishna. I'll stop there. Did that make sense for us?
Very, very powerful explanation. I wish everybody else didn't miss this. Thank you.
All right.
It's absolutely beautiful, Baba. Very beautifully put together.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Nishama. Jai Guru. So that is what I had to talk about. We'll do a short session of meditation. This is a general meditation. Once again, we talked about meditation or spiritual path. The goal of spiritual path is Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti Paramananda Prapti. Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti is cessation of all miseries. Miseries will not cease. It is a play of the world, but we can transcend those. So transcending all miseries and attainment of happiness. As we practice the meditation, try to get a sense of those two. Even right now, the situation of the world that you are in right now is playing in your mind, and there are challenges, and those challenges do bother us. For maybe 10 minutes to try and see that if we can transcend those, if we can take our mind away from that, practice the steps of meditation to see if we can get a glimpse of peace within. We'll close our eyes. To just be comfortable. Sit comfortably, but keep your spine straight. And bring your attention to the middle of the eyebrows, the Agya Chakra, door to divinity within. And calmly observe the breath. No effort to change the breath. Effortless breathing. Just the air coming into the nostrils. The warm air going out. Feeling the breath within. The mind may try to go out to the worries of the world, of the job, of family, of situations in life. But to tell the mind that for 10 minutes, to stop worrying of all those. Nothing will happen in these 10 minutes. We can get back to our work after that. But for this time, just to focus on the breath. No other task for the mind. Watching every inhalation, every exhalation. Contemplate on the power of the breath. Breath is our life. No breath, no life. Breath is our strength. Breath nourishes us day and night, 24 hours. Who is breathing on our behalf? Who is keeping us alive? Giving us one more opportunity to realize the divine within us. Time is passing by. Time is running out. In every breath, an opportunity to find the real person consciousness within. Keep watching the breath. Some calmness within. Take a slow, long and deep inhalation. Hold the breath and gently bend forward towards the knees. Exhale. Normal breathing again. Bending only as much as you can. Head down is a simple sign of humility, of bowing to the divinity which is within us, around us. Still watching the breath. Feeling some heaviness in the head. Is that God, is that Guru touching us on the head and blessing us? More love. Prayer in every breath. Oh God, you are acting, you are doing the work through this instrument. Make me hollow like a flute. Let your breath activate all action that gets done through me. I surrender all my actions to you. Let not let not allow me to accrue any new karma. I surrender all at your feet, O Lord. Prayer in every breath. Take another deep, long inhalation. Holding the breath. Sit back up again. And exhale. Back to normal, effortless breathing. Still watching the breath. Little more calmness within. Now to practice a few cycles of deep inhalation, deep exhalation. As you breathe in and out deeply, feel all the negativity within melt, dissolve. Feel all the anxiety melt away. Take a deep, long inhalation. Exhale, slow, long, deep. Inhale, slow, long, and deep. Dissolve all the stress. Exhale, slow, long, and deep. Inhale, peace. Exhale, love. Inhale, peace. Exhale, love. Inhale, love. Exhale, joy. Inhale, deep. Exhale, deep. Continue inhaling, exhaling deeply. Hint of a smile on the face. Divinity within us. Inhaling that life force. Dissolving all the impressions, all the negativity within. Inhale, peace. Exhale, love. Inhale, love. Exhale, peace. Back to normal breathing again. No more effort on the breathing. Bring back the attention to the middle of the eyebrows. The body is still. The breath is feeble. Silence within. Calmness within. Nothing to think of anymore. Just merge into that silence. Few moments of silent meditation. Try. Bring the attention back to the breath again. Observing the inhalation and exhalations again. Back to body consciousness, breath consciousness. Thinking back of your experience in the last 10 minutes. Maybe for some time the mind was off the challenges in our current life situation. Maybe there was a glimpse of peace and bliss, which is always within us. And whatever you experienced is the grace of the divine, is the result of your meditation. Let us pray for the well-being of all. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Let all be healthy. Let all be happy. Let every moment in everyone's life be auspicious. May there not be any sorrow or misery. May the Lord bless us all. I bow to God and Gurus. I bow to the living presence of God in all of you. Amen. Amen. We'll open our eyes. So that was a little bit of meditation. Parash, how did that feel?
It's great. It's such a wonderful time others missed. I'm so happy. I mean, I wish I would attend more. It's great. It's great. It's been great.
Was
I
there a
enjoyed
little bit of peace during the meditation?
Yes,
Okay.
a little bit of peace. I was able to focus more than last time, about a month ago.
Wonderful. So we'll finish up with this initiation details. You're already familiar with this. This is for the upcoming weekend over here, but the same format and the same approach will be also for the initiation that you will attend on September 16th. There may be a public talk. You'll get similar information there. You'll bring five fruits, 5 flowers, and 180. Is that still the amount in Canada, Nishama?
It's $200 in Canada.
Okay, it's 200. Thank you. It's $200 in Canada. And the beauty of the initiation is gurus cleanse your chakras, give you an opportunity of surrendering all your karma. And then you can perceive the divinity within it as 3 qualities: sound, pulsation, and light. And that's again a magical experience. It's only magical if we are able to attend the initiation with that openness. If we are fighting within our own selves, thinking that, oh, this is not going to be possible, then we block the channeling of the guru's energy through us. So I hope that, and I pray that you will come to the initiation having cleared your doubts and fully present, and then God and gurus will take care of the rest from there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Any questions for us? Any other questions that might have come up in mind today?
No, I do not have questions. I just want to continue attending your sessions now or later. These are very, 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 very enlightening. We know about those flute. We know about the flute. We know all of that. That analogy is beautiful. I really feel that this 1.5 hour was probably the best spent time in a long while. Yeah. Thank you.
God and Guru's grace. Thank you so much. Nishama, thank you so much for attending.
Thank you so much, Amit Baba, for the wonderful, wonderful talk. It was so divine.
Thank you so much.
And the beautiful meditation.
It's all your love, Ma. Thank you so much. Parasbaba, you'll get to meet with Nishama. She's a devotee who has experienced both of our gurus, and you'll hear many magical, lovely, beautiful stories. So it's going to be a wonderful time.
Yeah, I saw her photo with Paramahansa together. I'm looking forward to everything. All the emails that I get, email messages that I get in my inbox from Paramahansa Hariyanandaji, that resonates my mind. I eagerly look for it. That resonates. Initially I was not able to think that, oh, every breath, think that Lord is there. Once I think more, I'm able to resonate to it. Thank you very much.
Very good, very good.
We'll be looking forward to seeing you, Baba, in Calgary.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll close our eyes for an ending prayer, thanking God and Gurus for this opportunity to spend some time together in satsang. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This creation is divine and perfect and complete. We are part of this creation. We too are divine, perfect, and complete. May through our spiritual practice, may through the grace of God and Gurus, we realize that perfectness and completeness in us. May God and Gurus bless us all. Jai Guru, Jai Jagannath. Thank you for attending and have a great evening.
Jai Guru Baba.
Jai Guru.
Thank you.